before we even start, press that subscribe button. Trust me, you'll want to stick around. This is Who Said What, where my sister Nira and I dive into life, culture, and the things that people think but don't say out loud. She overshares, I think before I speak, most of the time. We've lived all over. Egypt, the US, Dubai, Europe, so we've seen the best and worst of everything. Relationships, careers, family chaos, and unspoken rules that make absolutely no sense. No fluff here, no filters, just real talk, occasional wisdom, and a lot of, did we really just say that moments? Now let's get into it.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everyone. We're back today with another episode of Who Said What? And today we are talking about Generation X because it seems to be, I don't know, or maybe it's just because it comes up on my feed very often, but everything about Gen X because, yeah, we are, those ones that are in between, sandwiched in between.
Gen X is from what year to what year?
Okay. Gen X roughly is from, I always forget this, 1965 to 1980, roughly.
Roughly.
Because if you're born in 1981, I guess you could probably, that kind of thing.
No, I forbid it. After 80s, no, actually 79 should be the cutoff. Starting from the 80s should be another generation.
No, then that means Hazem's gone, long gone. He's millennial, no.
Okay. Actually,
I can't be married to millennial, I'm sorry.
Movies in the 80s were still pretty good, actually.
Well, we were the generation. Okay, so we're the generation.
And I'm wearing a Star Wars t-shirt purely by accident, but that came out in 77, so that is totally
totally perfect and spot
Gen
on.
X, right?
On point.
And yes. I'm wearing a pigtail with a scrunchie, too.
Scrunchies are making a comeback.
They are making a comeback.
Anyways, so the Gen X are basically where we came after the baby boomers, we're before millennials and Gen Z and I don't know who else. But basically, we were the ones that grew up with VHS, cassette tapes, the Walkman. You remember the coolest Walkman?
Not the Discman, the Walkman, okay?
But we did the Discman. Discman?
Discman came out.
What's a Discman? It's a disc.
It was called the Discman.
Okay, it was called Discman.
And before the iPod.
Before the MP3.
Before the MP3. Okay, I don't remember the MP3.
Yeah, because it went by so fast.
Yeah, it
was like a blip. It was like, done.
Yeah.
See you later.
Over and done. But I remember like, because movies were such a thing for us back then, where we used to, and MTV was a big thing then, right?
MTV.
And we'd have VHS tapes where you kind of put them in the thing, you rewind, you make your popcorn, you make your like
you
drinks.
Pause and you pause.
No, you wait. No, but you have to like wait for 5 minutes. You remember the rewinding used to take like forever. So you'd go do your thing. And
remember the Blockbuster? Okay, Blockbuster in our generation, they had the VHS, the tapes, and there was always a sticker, be kind, rewind.
And if you didn't rewind, you got fined.
Now the DVDs, you don't have to rewind. You rent the DVD. Well, I don't know.
You don't rent any DVDs anymore.
I don't know if Blockbuster exists anymore. It probably doesn't. Until 2000. But in 2007, there was still a Blockbuster.
2007?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's almost 20 years ago.
But it's not 20 years ago. It's almost
18 years ago or 17 years ago. I'm sure the Blockbuster doesn't exist anymore.
Oh my God.
It doesn't, no? We need to figure that one out.
Yeah, we need to ask. Well, if somebody wants to tell us if it exists anymore or not.
Well, Shedi's here sitting with us. He said it doesn't exist anymore.
Doesn't exist anymore.
Okay, well, I'm not surprised. Yeah, but that was the highlight of the weekend. You remember? We used to have a guy coming over to the house. Like he's smuggling drugs.
With the tapes.
With tapes.
And
you're like, okay, I'll watch this. And they were like
that's
pirated.
Here in Egypt. I think, right? It was always pirated. And there was a store where you used to go rent the videos. It was like down this, it's like very dodgy
areas.
Always
very shady.
And then within like 6 months, they're shut down. Because somebody realized that they're pirated copies about
I don't think that's why. Do you think anybody cared about pirated movies here?
No, I think they did.
No.
They could get in trouble.
With who?
I don't know, but it's an international, isn't it? I think it's an international law. I don't wish I was
but in Egypt in the 90s, do you think anybody knew where Egypt was on the map?
No, this was in the early 2000s, by the way.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the 90s, deep in the 90s.
Deep in the 90s? I don't remember. Deep in the 90s, I used to go, oh my God, do you remember Nedi Gezira? The top floor, they had a place where you could rent movies.
Oh my God, I don't remember that.
We're across from, what's it called? Do you know that building where they play Concan and bridge tournaments? That main building in the middle.
Yeah, I don't know. But
Ali and I used to go all the way to the top and rent videos nonstop. Newsies, hello, we rented it from there.
Is that where you first got?
Yeah, that's the first where I
seen that movie. Is from Gezira Club.
Yeah. Well, how about where else? Halim Yoghani, Ertan Alak. They didn't have the new movies. They had MacGyver.
No, but at
You
that
guys
time,
missed out on
no, but
MacGyver.
At that time, there weren't many new movies, anyways. So when the new movie would come out,
They
you'd
used to
get
be in
it
the
anywhere.
summer. It used to be in the summer only. The movies used to come out.
I remember when our uncle from Canada used to come and bring us tapes with MTV, and that's what we used to watch.
I don't remember that at all.
I remember watching for the first
Fouet?
time Madonna Like a Prayer tapes. Her video clip. We used to enjoy watching video clips. Have you ever watched a video clip of any of the songs nowadays?
You see, yes. And I was thinking
Have
about
you?
that. I know, I was thinking that as well. You know, it was like the... well, the videos are all on YouTube now. The music videos. But I don't watch them anymore.
Okay, but would you go on...
There are only a few, but they're different. They're so different. Our generation, they were mini movies. Remember Thriller?
Not only that, that was the highlight of your...
True Blue?
No, I know, but that's what I'm
Like a Prayer?
Let me finish my thing. But what I'm saying is these video clips, that's all we had. Now you have a million other things to do, so you don't actually have the time to watch it. We had lots... that's the thing about Gen X. We had a ton of time on our hands. The summers went by like they were like a year.
We were young as well. But the other thing that's interesting is that music, now you discover music on the radio. At the time, we didn't have radio in Egypt at all.
That's right.
Well, there was, but you had no idea what new songs were.
No.
You discovered new songs
that?
from MTV, not the radio.
That's right.
The MTV and then of course Egypt, you had MTV Asia, you had different MTVs that weren't necessarily US.
Yeah, that's why the US thing was ooh, you're pretty connected, girl. You got the US
it was,
MTV.
Wow. We really suffered actually when you think about it. Now they have everything's online. Everything is online.
We had the landline. Because we were saying, we remember our lives before and after the internet so clearly because we lived it quite a long time before the internet. When did the internet come out? I think it was my first year in college. I think it was 94. Wasn't before then, right?
No. Was it 94?
Around there. Because I remember there was the dial-up.
Oh, no. Totally. 95, yeah. I was chatting with somebody online somewhere else and my friends in college had an intervention.
What were you doing? No.
Chatting, because there was MSN Messenger. Came out or ICQ.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You don't, okay. Internet came out, and what's the first thing people use? They use it to connect with people in different countries and get to know people.
Oh, no, I was just sending emails.
Yeah, sending emails. No, but one of the big thing in 95 was the...
So like a dating thing?
No, MSN Messenger.
A meeting
No, you can meet random people
like pen pals?
Yeah, exactly.
But over the internet. Okay.
Over the internet. And it's instantaneous, which
sounds pretty lame. Anyway, so yeah, I don't remember that. So what did you do?
Well, I was lame, obviously. Fat and lame.
So what did you do? Did you connect with somebody on ICQ?
Yeah, in Sweden, I think, or something like that. Not ICQ, it was MSN Messenger.
Did you get a picture of him? Or you didn't know what he looked like?
No, I got letters afterwards.
Oh, I remember the letters. The mixtapes.
Yes.
Oh my God.
No, the letters you usually made an effort. Like in the summer when I used to be gone in college, during the summer I used to get letters from one friend in particular. And of course, she's a slut and we don't talk anymore.
Yeah, I used to get letters all the time from guys.
She's a total whore and we don't talk at all anymore.
Yeah, I know.
But I had to deal with that for 4 years. Sleepless nights.
But yeah, those letters were it was a very nice time.
It was personal. I still have the letters, by the way. I still have a bag.
I think somebody threw mine.
I still have a little bag. Remember that bag from the 80s too, actually.
I think that was from the 70s when we were born. That red one with the bus?
Bus, yes.
Oh my God.
It's filled with all my letters that I've gotten over the years. The only letters I don't have anymore are Ahmed Ragab's. And it's a pity because he used to send me letters when he was in military school.
And I bet you he spelt everything wrong.
No, he wasn't that bad, actually. I bet
so
you
he pronounced it wrong.
He pronounced everything wrong.
Okay.
He pronounced everything wrong. But his letters weren't so bad, actually.
So tell me, what do you miss most about Gen X, about that time, like the 80s and 90s?
Oh, I really miss being able to disconnect. But it was a problem for our parents, but it wasn't a problem for us.
Problem for our parents for what? Because they couldn't connect to us? They didn't give a shit where we were?
Yeah, well, they had their moments. Not
really.
Well, no, actually, because if you're out till 4 o'clock in the morning, guess what? Nobody can get in touch with you. Where are you? Are you dead in a ditch?
So they're waiting up?
They're waiting up, you know what I'm saying?
Like the Godfather waiting for
Remember,
you at 2
like
o'clock
mom
in the
yelling
morning?
at us from standing on her bed and yelling at us from the bed because our mother is really short. And so she had to stand tower over me. But no, if you were gone, there was no way of getting in touch with you.
But by the way, that's the
you
thing.
had to go to the kushk to make a call home. Remember?
That's right.
You had to ممكن نكلم بربع جنيه. And then you memorize all the numbers. You knew all numbers.
And you get the rocket chocolate while you're at it. And the asaleya while you're at it.
And the magic chewing gum.
Yeah, no, but you know that's the time of Gen X. They didn't have anything. Parents didn't care as much about our well-being because they were disconnected from us. So therefore, they didn't think about us. I mean, I think, you know.
I differ with you guys on that.
I didn't finish my thought.
All right.
I'm just saying that basically, as Gen Xers, our parents didn't really care about our whereabouts. We were kind of the neglected generation, and we fended for ourselves much more than the generations that came after that. Our parents were definitely not helicopter parents. Nobody cared. Yeah, they didn't care when we were out all day. And therefore, I think that we were more independent as people, but we also had a lot of childhood trauma. So I think we invented therapy. Our generation invented therapy. So now tell me, what do you object to?
I think it was a different time. Do I think, yes, our parents were not helicopter parents, but I think it's our parents that weren't helicopter parents, because I had other friends from my age where the parents were in their business.
Really?
Oh, maybe I really think it's our parents and our direct
fucked up purely because of mom and dad?
No, our direct friends, where our parents were a lot, okay, you guys are going out, go out. You know, there was a little bit. Alia's parents she had a curfew to 9:00 at night all through high school.
Well, we had a curfew too, but we just didn't abide by the curfew.
Our curfew, but no, most people's curfew was 9-10 girls. Our curfew at 14 and 13 and 16 was midnight, 1:00 in the morning, which was unheard of.
You're giving mom and dad a bad rap now.
No, I don't think.
Backpedal.
No, I don't think we were irresponsible. We were not irresponsible. You see, that's.
I had my
speak for yourself. But what I'm saying, we all had our moments, but it wasn't. They didn't have reason to be concerned as much as this generation, and on different levels. By the way, the other thing is, Yani, our parents most of the time knew we were at the club, because we were at the club most of the time.
Yeah.
From 9:00, you could be there from 10:00 at night till 8:00, 10:00 in the morning till 8:00 at night. You're in the club the whole time because everybody's there at the same time. This is on the weekend.
Yeah, but there were things going on in the club.
But the things going on in the club were.
Yeah, limited. Okay,
limited. Yeah, not like now. There are things going on in the club. Then it was limited.
Really, what's going on in the club now?
Yeah, now.
No, tell me. I want to know. What are they doing? You sound like you have information about it.
No, it's very different. Well, then again, in Dad's generation, there were things going on at the club as well. So, it's
true.
I think, but
I don't know what's going on then.
There was
tennis tournaments.
We were very aware and mature, yet immature. Do you see what
I know what you mean. We had to be mature because they kind of let us fend for ourselves, but we stayed we were immature, and I think we're still immature. We're still riding the immature wave at almost 50.
I'll tell you, the problem with us, especially in Egypt, is there was a little bit of isolation. You were isolated. You know what I'm saying?
But everybody was around the world, I think.
Exactly.
You didn't have that connection.
You didn't have the connection. If you were in Egypt, you didn't know what was going on in the States. You knew from movies, but movies used to come out here 2 years after they came out in the States. For example.
Really? Was it
a year or two? A year usually. Yani, it's not like now they come out in the States, they come out the same day here.
Yeah, of course.
So, and then the other thing I find as well that's scary, and I get worried when I see like your kids or Shireen's kids and stuff like that, is that at 9, 10, I was walking to the club alone. Maybe you would come with me. At 9, when Mia was here, I wouldn't let her walk to the club alone. Or even Noah. At 9, and he's a boy.
I'm gonna let my kids walk to the club at 9 or 10.
But now there are a lot more weirdos. If there were weirdos at our time,
I think there were weirdos then too.
Very few. Now it's much more. Now it's much more globally. By the way, you hear of kids like being kidnapped in Sharfei a lot more frequent. No, but a lot more frequently than there. Here you get the ass grab, the boob grab. Not that you didn't get that then, but it was. It's more now.
I never got the boob or the ass grab, thankfully.
Oh, I did, but I was older.
I got in London, not here.
No, but I was. But I did when I was. Remember? When I was very young,
yes, I remember.
By our place. But And mom, for example, never talked about that. And it happened to her when she was a teenager. Certain things that happened to me. And I love our parents' generation. They never said, be careful.
Yeah, they never spoke.
They said, by the way, these things happen, be careful, don't.
They never said that to us. They never told me what happened to them.
And mom told me something that happened to her that happened to me. I'm like, how am I supposed to know that happens? You know, people here.
We were very naive, I think.
Men push you up against the counter, like if you're walking, that happens. And it happened to mom when she was a teenager on a bus, I think, or something.
It's very, I don't remember mom telling me any of that stuff.
She told me that because it happened to me.
Okay, you told her?
And I think that's when she told me.
Okay.
But, so it was different, you know what I'm saying? There's less to worry about. There were less weirdos. There were I think even the people were different. Now they're much more aggressive. Sometimes they might be more aggressive. You know, I don't know. Did no mean no back then and means it less so now? I'm not sure. But it just feels like it was more of an innocent time.
It was more innocent.
Yeah, our movies growing up with 16 Candle and The Breakfast Club, which are still awesome till today.
I know.
They're the best. They're like the best movies ever. But now the movies, the same genre of movies for teenagers seems a lot more.
Yes, there was like this one thing that Shireen was watching with her daughter. Our sister was watching with her daughter, and she told me about it, and it's very, very out there.
Too Hot to Handle?
No.
Which reminds me, Mia was watching it nonstop.
Euphoria, is it?
Oh, yes. It's not for children. Aslan.
Well, she's 17.
Yeah. But like Mia also...
Is it not for 17-year-olds either?
No. It's all about drugs, right?
Which is not.
But aren't the actors young?
They're in...
Oh, okay.
They're not in high school?
Okay, so...
The characters are in high school, the actors are not.
Okay, so our sister's negligent, and she's letting her daughter watch this crap.
Well, mom let me see Poltergeist when I was 5, Heba. Let me tell you.
Really? Shall you watch Poltergeist? Oh, but we didn't have that, actually. We didn't have that at all. Growing up, we watched whatever movies we wanted to.
Yeah, but Poltergeist, we went and saw it. We saw it in Texas in the movie theater. We were in Houston at the time. We went to the movie theaters, and you cannot buy a ticket unless there's an adult around. Guess what? Adult was around. They bought us a ticket and told us to go inside without them.
Did I watch with you? No, Poltergeist? No, I don't think so.
Yes.
I don't even remember it.
You don't remember it, but me, it just left a really bad impression in my mind. Like,
oh my God, that must have been traumatizing.
I'm a coward, so it traumatized me. Just like Jaws traumatized everybody.
We watched Jaws, we were like 7, and I loved it. No, it freaked me out.
Wait, which one? No, first of all...
One with the 3D glasses, you remember the
that was Jaws 3. That was fine. But we watched Jaws, the first one. You don't remember? We had just arrived in Hawaii. We turned on the TV, and it's that first scene with the girl on the thing, and she's being.
And then we had to go to the.
Then my mom and dad were like, turn off the TV. It was like the first time, I'm like, what's wrong? And they turned off the TV and we went swimming.
But I don't remember them ever telling us we can't watch this or that.
Really? No. We couldn't watch Jaws. Don't you remember the headache they gave Shireen about not watching Purple Rain because the father commits suicide?
Yeah, but they didn't really care. They said no, you can't watch it, but you can watch. No, we watched it, didn't we?
Shireen watched it. Shireen watched it behind their backs because
which she did all the time.
It came out. We were in remember Monaco? There was an open air theater. Mm-hmm. It was playing, and they said, "Nope, you're not allowed to go see it."
I don't remember.
I remember very.
My God,
very
I block out a lot of things. Hence why I need therapy more than you and Shireen probably.
No,
you need it too.
I did therapy.
No, but I know for me, all the friends I know that are Gen X like me, we're pretty fucked up. I'd have to say.
Yeah.
We're pretty like in therapy like basically our whole lives. Yeah, since the time we discovered therapy.
Yeah, but now
because it was very taboo before.
Well, now it's not. Thank God they've normalized it because it should be normal. I mean, I think everybody should go. But like it was like I told you that friend of mine who's dating this girl. Oh God, I hope she doesn't listen to this. And that her and her ex went to couples therapy. Boyfriend and girlfriend go to couples therapy. Explain that one to me.
Maybe because they want to just figure it out beforehand, before getting into...
One of my exes wanted me to go to couple therapy.
I went to couples therapy.
Yeah, maybe see there's...
break up.
I was 19. I said, you know what? If we need therapy, just...
It's over.
But it could be...
I know. If at 19 we need therapy, oh my God, was the wrong relationship, so I left him.
I better go to couple therapy before I get married. Or before I go to engage here.
Okay, this is if you're serious about
That's what
to
I'm
get
thinking.
married.
I'm thinking they probably want to see. No, not even again. If they're in a relationship and they want to see is this viable or not. You want the therapist. Actually, therapists probably just as fucked up as
My
people
God,
in therapy.
sorry. I've had friends of mine that have talked to me about their therapists. Couple, they've gone to.
Didn't make sense.
I have friends of mine married going to couples therapy. Okay, not married anymore. But but the couple, I swear to God, I think the therapist is the reason why it's really over. They are bad in this country.
Therapists are not meant to help them keep the relationship. على فكرة ممكن therapist يخليهم يديفورس.
But the thing is, I find therapists, because I've been to a few therapists here. Some of them are really good. Some of them get way too personal.
Some of them are really good. How do you determine that they're really good? Is they agree with you?
No,
they're
of course not. No, of course not. No, but therapists don't agree. But to me, is you helping you. Thanks, Heba, by the way. Okay. That was below the belt and not needed actually at all. Oh. What therapists agree with you? No, I think the thing is the therapists are supposed to guide you, not get personal about their personal life. Because a lot
of course not.
But
that's really weird.
But a lot
Who does that?
You feel a lot of therapists here semi-project.
Really?
I think so.
That is the weirdest thing ever.
I had my friends, they announced to everybody that they're separated before they got a divorce, because the therapist told them they should tell everybody that they're separated.
Okay, but you don't listen to the therapist like the therapist is not God.
Yeah, but people don't. You know that, and I know that because we've done it for years.
No, that's not why. It's not because I've done it for years. Because I've done it. Well, because you just realize that nobody is completely 100% right. You have to figure out what is right for you.
Exactly, but some people when they do it. And sorry, if my therapist told me you have to announce to everybody that you're getting separated, I'm gonna be like, what are you talking about? Why would I announce to everybody? We haven't even decided to get divorced yet. You know, by announcing it to everybody, you're basically ending it without the possibility of maybe working on it.
Yeah, so this banter is very good because this is a completely Gen X banter. There's like a banter going on and there's no like conclusion. Do you know what I mean? We're kind of confused. We're in our own heads. We're in our own hamster wheel. You know, we're stuck in our own hamster wheel as Gen X people. I notice.
Really?
We kind of go back and forth. I find like other generations, younger generations, even if they're probably doing something that I think is completely stupid, but they're confident about their stupidity, right? So isn't that part of that? That's 50% of success. Because if you're confident and you're happy about your stupidity, who's tell you it's wrong?
Well, if everybody's doing stupid stuff, then nobody's gonna tell you doing anything wrong.
Exactly. There you go.
But
so we're the
stupid.
Gen X people. We're like indecisive. We're like basically jumping from one thing to another and like kind of confused and trying out different things. Anyways, it feels like I've just summed up my life.
Well, no, I don't feel that way.
You don't?
No.
Oh, get on that bandwagon, girl, because you're not on the right track. No.
Well, maybe I don't feel that way because I'm not married and I don't have kids. I just don't feel that way. I feel very okay. Like. I feel maybe because I'm the third out of 3 kids, maybe there's a little bit more grounding when you're the third one, or you really don't give a shit, or whatever.
On the contrary, the first is always the most grounded. You're not the most grounded. The youngest one is the most independent and the most like doing what they want to do.
Therefore, I do what I want to do. I'm not looking for affirmation from anybody around me. I don't really give a shit about what people think. Not now, as I've gotten older. When I was younger,
I think that's all of us have gotten older. I think that's where we're at now.
But do I think it was a way cooler generation. I think
just let alone the music and the movies were fucking awesome. Okay, so let's wrap this one up. Tell me, what is your favorite movies? Give me a list of 5 favorite movies from that era.
Okay. Star Wars.
Okay.
Indiana Jones.
Which one? In the Temple of Doom?
No, all 3 are amazing.
Really?
All 3 are very good, yeah.
Okay, which one?
Yeah, it's one of those where the 3 are just as good as the one before and after.
What else?
Godfather. 1 and 2, not 3. Let's see. So I said Star Wars, The Breakfast Club.
Mm-hmm. That's one we
Classic.
share. Breakfast Club.
Classic.
Amazing.
I'm trying to think what else. There's so many movies from the 80s. There's 16 Candle.
No, your
Weird
top favorite.
Science.
Your top favorite. I'm talking about your top favorite. We're not going to list all the movies from the 80s and the 90s.
Breakfast Club, and
I'll give you mine. Since Breakfast Club is yours, I'd share that one with you. Breakfast Club. Back to the Future, of course.
Oh, yes. Shit, I forgot Back to the Future. Damn it.
You snooze, you lose.
But didn't that come out in the 80s?
I don't care. I'm talking about that era. I'm not talking about exactly when.
Oh, and Point Break.
Point Break, yes, and Dirty Dancing. There you go. I'm going to say those 4.
Oof, Dirty Dancing. I can't believe I forgot Dirty Dancing.
Yeah, that's
There was another one besides
Any
Dirty
song?
Eye of the Tiger.
Oh my God, yeah, Rocky. Oh God,
Yeah, Eye of the Tiger. I'm trying to think what other
Eye of the Tiger is a brilliant one, yes.
Like a Virgin. Was that the
Journey? That one, that song, like I listened to it so much.
What's that? The Aha song that everybody listens to now?
Yeah. Take on Me.
Take on Me. Thriller.
No, I don't like that Thriller. I'm not such a big fan of Thriller.
Purple Rain. And When the Doves Cry.
Like the other day when we went out, the whole playlist, I think like that was the one thing, like Prince, Madonna, True Blue, that kind of thing. Oh my God, I miss it so much.
When the Doves Cry.
Janet Jackson, Netta Cherry.
Those were later on, weren't they? In the 80s, 90s, early 90s.
Oh my God, it's that era I'm talking about. Anyways, okay, last thing. What makes you cringe about people now? Something that makes like cringy moments.
There's so many, I don't know where to begin.
I'm so fucking tired of those wellness influencers or these influencers in general. They're all going like, oh, I had such a rough day, but I picked myself up and I went out and I did that really annoys the shit out of me. Now,
I'm trying to think if there's anything annoying the shit out of me about this generation.
WhatsApp groups. I have a ton of WhatsApp groups and they're driving me fucking bonkers. I hate them.
You know, I have TikTok, but I haven't signed up to TikTok, but I have it. I don't know what bothers me actually about. My pet peeve. Stop remaking fucking 80s and 90s movies now. Come up with your own shit. Like seriously. Stop remaking old movies.
Exactly.
I saw Twister, the new one. What
shit.
the fuck? It's not shit. Point Break was shit when they did Point Break 2. Like no, just stick to your shit and stop trying to remake. But the Practical Magic, I'm really worried it's going to be bad. But I bet you it's not going to be as good. It's a sequel, but I'm so worried it's going to be bad.
But yeah, I totally agree with you on that. Okay, anybody who's on who's Gen X, who's a Gen X baby, and let us know what you think. What are your top favorite movies of that time? Songs, anything we missed, let us know. Send us a DM, and we will see you next week. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, that's a wrap. If you're still here, you must have enjoyed yourself, so subscribe and leave a review and share this with the one person who needs to hear it. Find us on Instagram for behind the scenes on what's coming next. See you next time, same place, same chaos.